So I'm starting with Wall Street because of two reasons. The first one is that when I was in school, in high school, my dream was to get a scholarship to go to the US, get a good university degree, and go work in Wall Street and become a millionaire. Because then I would be able to go back to Paraguay with a lot of money and change the world, right, and my country. So that was the logic, very simple logic that I had at that time, which led to a lot of frustrations for me personally. Because my measure of success was in dollars. So the more dollars you have, the more successful you can be. And that was not only my measure, but I think most of my society was how success was measured. And this was a big problem for me because at the same time I had a lot of social preoccupations about how the world could become a better place. So I really wanted to make money to make the world a better place, but it was a complicated situation because what happens when you put your ideas behind just to go behind something material, which is money, and money for the sake of money is not very motivational, at least for me. And so you lose your north, you lose your perspective of what really is important in life. So I think that's why I was very frustrated at the time until I was able to find my way in the world of what I wanted to do, which was help generate social impact from now. I don't have to wait until I become a millionaire to have social impact. I have to do it today because today I have that in me. If I go for the money, let's call it that way, in the process that I become a millionaire, which may happen, I will probably change myself to the point where I could not go back to my country with the $1 million and be the person that I used to be 20 years ago. So that was my big concern at the time, so that's why I studied political science in the end, because I didn't want to do economics, I didn't want to do business, I didn't want to go that way, so I was more worried about how can we fix the world, right? So I had a lot of trouble with, the whole ideology thing of capitalism, communism. Capitalism seems to be so bad in so many ways. But in the end, what you realize is that capitalism is the best we have. So it works, and it has been able to generate wealth throughout generations. And to change the world, you need wealth. You need to generate value, because it's costly to build public goods and services that can help improve the quality of life of society in general. So in the end, capitalism beat me, and I understood that what we need to do is to try to modify it from within. And we need to do this now more than ever. Because of a 2008 financial crisis, I think we all realized that capitalism can be really good in some ways, but it can also degenerate into a process where speculation is more valuable than wealth or value generation. So we have all these problems in the world, and these are common to every one of our countries in different ways. And they are really very important problems because they affect people. And people with a name, with an address, with a family, with dreams, are suffering because we don't have a way, we didn't find a way to fix this yet. So this is a picture for me that exemplifies, this is in São Paulo, Brazil, how the world is growing. By 2030, over 60% of the world population will live in cities. And the cities won't look like Stanford. They will look like São Paulo, probably, if we don't do something about this. So we've seen this growth, but we also see that a third of the world live without energy. This is a picture from NASA from at night. So you see how many parts of the different continents that are less developed have less access to energy. And a third of the world cannot flush a toilet. And there are so many other problems, but this is a very significant one because of all the problems that it generates in a community. So how can we do? How can we find a way to use capitalism to solve these problems? That is the big question that I'm asking myself and I'm trying to solve. And I think that there are so many good things about businesses that they do very well. They're very efficient. They're very good at generating wealth. They're very good at organizing. They are very good at generating the right incentives for people to go into a market and try to fix a problem. Any company that works in the world fixes a problem. Just what type of problem you're fixing is the big question, right? So that's why a few years ago I founded Koga Impact Lab, and I'm putting Sistema B there as well, because Sistema B is the organization that we are associated with. It's a regional organization, a global organization that is promoting this new type of B companies, B corporations, where we believe in an economy where success is measured by the welfare of individuals, societies, and the planet. So in short, it's a triple bottom line where you don't only measure how much money you make at the end of a year, but you also measure how much positive impact you generate in the social or environmental areas. And that is key because well, if you don't measure, you don't do it, right? So the typical misconception is that this is like a CSR program. Well, it's not. It's a little bit more than that. It's going into the DNA of the company. And in fact, you'll see that B companies redefine their purpose, and they include that in their bylaws. And this is very important because you have a legal obligation then to promote whatever social purpose you have put in your mission. So it's key because, and you also have to meet very high standards of performance, and you are certified, right? So it's a third party certifies you, and it's not that you are saying I'm a good company, or I have a good CSR program. No, you change your bylaws and you go through a certification process. So, like for example, instead of, if you're a construction company, the typical explanation would be, okay, so I build homes, right? If you are not purpose-driven, that's whatever you do is what you are. However, if you're a purpose-driven company, and these are some cases that we've seen in Chile, for example, you can be a construction company, but your purpose is to reinsert people who have committed crimes very early in their life into society. You do that through the house building, but you could do that through anything. But your purpose is the key of your business, so that's what you focus all your energy on. Then the way you do it doesn't really make a big difference in the extent that you can actually achieve your goal of reinserting people into society, people who have committed crimes into society after they were in prison, right? So a very interesting point that B Corps are always making is that we want to be the best for the world and not just of the world, which is, I think a good tagline for B Corps. We are 173 B Corps in Latin America. Paraguay is Koga, my company, is the first one from Paraguay. So I don't have my flag in there, sorry, but you can see it there. And there are over 1,300 B Corps in 42 countries. Some of them you might know. It's Ben & Jerry's, the ice cream. Patagonia, which is like North Face, but B Corp. And Natura, which is a company for cosmetics. Those are the big companies. Etsy, which is a web page for selling, a marketplace for selling handicrafts, which recently went in New York Stock Exchange and did an IPO and was very successful. So each one of these companies does things in a different, has a social purpose or a social purpose that is measured and that they are actually doing year in and year out to solve problems. So for this to grow and for us to hack capitalism, we can't only generate new B Corps. We need to include the capital. We need impact investors to be ready to go into that. We need the market to be able and willing to buy these products. We need leaders of opinion to put this into the social discourse. And of course, we need public policy and academia, and those are two very key elements that must happen in order for this to sustain and grow in Latin America and in the world. So, in short, we believe in an economy where success is measured by the welfare of individuals, society, and the planet. Thank you.